Glorious!
Killing spree.
Glorious!
An ally glorious. Quadra kill.
Glory lasts forever!
What's up, guys? Welcome back for some Glorious Smite. Today is the last day in our Season 3 class build guides, and we're going to end on what I consider the most powerful class at the moment, the mages. The reason, of course, for this is the lack of health, a lot of core defense items, the boosted early game power, and then the boosted late game power as well. Mages just have a very sort of smooth progression throughout the game. They're never really weak anymore. They start off strong and they'll end strong, very, very strong. So I'll try and cover a couple of different builds. For the most part, there's two main builds, and then there's like the Ao Kuang and the Freya, and that's more or less it, right? So yeah, okay, and I guess so, maybe so. And I guess maybe Zhong Kui and Hades, because they're kind of bulky, so I guess there's more. But there's two main burst builds, so we'll call it that. So, burst build number 1 is the ones that need cooldown, because when you look at Nox's 2, it's 15 seconds, which is a long time, and her 1's 10 seconds, so you really need this one up more often, versus, say, where is it, Yanis, his 2 is 8 seconds, right? So, Nox really needs CDR. I know Yanis always builds CDR as well, but I feel Nox just needs it. In fact, let's compare it to Scylla as well. Scylla's to 10 seconds, right? It's 33% less, which is a big difference. So, pretty standard for all burst mages. You start your Vamp Shroud, blah blah blah, but we're going to get rid of it eventually. So usually you go straight to Doom Orb. Fully stacked, this offers 140 power, making it the third most power, I believe, in terms of raw power of all the mage items. But compare it in price, like, it's so much cheaper. Yes, you'll lose half the stacks on this, you got to be careful, but it also provides you with early MP5 and a boosted mana pool, which is always nice as well. Then you're going to go into boots. Usually I will get pen, however, you can sell it late game for cooldown, or if you're slightly short on the gold getting cooldown, it's not a big loss, because you're going to get Fuck You Spear and Spear of the Magus, which is going to offer plenty of pen anyway. In fact, Spear of the Magus plus Fuck You Spear gives you 2 damage against mages anyway, so you're not really losing anything. You'd really only get these for the early game boost against your mage opponent, right? But late game it's more than acceptable to sell it if you would rather have the 10% CDR, but it is only 10%, which isn't a lot. But if you combine it up with Chronos Pen, you still get 30%, which is still pretty decent. But either way, I'm not too concerned. From here, you either go into Spear or Chronos Pendant. She needs Chronos Pendant, right? Then you would get the Spear, because her cooldowns are pretty long. Then you would get the 2 big items, which is Rod of Tahuti and the classic Spear of Fuck You. Right, that's kind of how you're going to build. Late game, if you really, really want, and if this is, you know, you're struggling to keep up the stacks, is always fine, you can actually ditch it and pick up Soul Reaver or Toth. I get Soul Reaver. For a kind of classic, you don't really need CDR as much, like say on Scylla, where you don't need CDR as much. Because like I've already explained, Scylla's already 33% less on her main damage ability than Nox. You might not need Chronos Pendant, so a good replacement for that would be the Toth. So that would be kind of your burst, and your burst that needs some cooldown, right? That's kind of the route you're going to go. These items you're going to get, we'll build it, but keep in mind this doesn't include passives and stacks, and oh, it does include the 2 pass, I think, but it doesn't include the stacks, right? So you would still get an extra 100 power on top of that. That would get boosted again, which is going to give you a stupid amount of power. So you get another 100, taking up to 656, and you get 25% of the 100, which is 25. So you get another 125, I guess. So you get nearly 700 power out of that build, which is really nice. And of course, in certain builds you can get rid of this and get this. Then late game, of course, you can sell it and grab this, which is pretty good. And again, you don't get the stacks. The stacks give you an extra, I believe, 22 something power. But then, of course, because you've got all the mana, at the late game you get boosted power again. So something to keep in mind. So yeah, that's the kind of core for your kind of burst, right? As for the slightly different mages, that would be Hi-rez and Jonqui, right? You're kind of tanky mage. You can go a few different routes. You can build full damage, like you can see here as pop. You can definitely do that, but you don't need to do that. You can use these items. You're still a mage, but you're a tankier mage. You can take advantage of tankier items, itemization that you don't always see. Warlock's a good example. Heidi the Urchin's a good example. A new Voidstone get buffed, depending on the comp, is a good example of an item you can buy into. Bulwark's a good magical defense item. Again, you're sort of like a warrior mage. You can build full damage, much like I can build Amaterasu or a Cyrus or something like that, full damage. But you don't have to. They can work just as well full tank. They just do a different thing, and you can be the same as well. We all know he prefers spear as his pen item, but I mean, these are still decent items. Of course, I've not listed the core burst items because you already know they're good. But these are also good items depending on the type of enemy you're taking on, right? So these are all exceptionally viable on them. It depends on how you want to build. If I imagine you wish to go down something, I don't think he needs Fuck You Spear. I think Fuck You Spear is calling for a big burst after a big burst, kind of like sell 2, boom, kill, sell 2 again, boom, kill, right? Or Isis, Ball of Death, boom, kill, Isis, Ball of Death again, boom, kill. He really needs the 1-2 follow up. You know, he's more of a sustain kind of mage, sort of, because the 1-2 gives him the health back, his passive boosts his stats, so he doesn't really need this item as much. So Rod 2 is probably going to be a big damage item, honestly. So you can kind of hybridize and go like boom, 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 boom. That would be kind of like a hybrid build, right? Remember, these are not stacked and they are minus your passive, and I don't believe it's Warlock stacked either. So you can have 300 health. Oh, what do you know? You've got wait, is that stacked actually? So that's 300 and that's 250. Gives 550. No, it's not stacked. So another 300 health takes you to magic number 3k. You can have 30 protections, giving you 200 fits, which is plenty. And then your magic goes up to one something, who cares. And then your passive triggers, which gives you another 40 at max stats, boosting you again. And you still got rod, you still got a spear, so you're still gonna swing. And depending on the matchups, of course, you get access to these two items as well. So you can build like that, and of course, so can Hi-rez. Hi-rez likes these items as well, right? Next up, you would have Freya. Freya scales off attack speed, right? When I look at it, you can get both these items now, and I think they're actually pretty good on her, because the raw attack speed is going to boost your damage so much, and she doesn't need Fuck You Spear as much. Again, it's more for the burst mage to reapply the burst twice in a row, basically. So she would probably go something like this. Get the double ring, right? And the second one gives you a massive boost and attack speed and pen and all that kind of good stuff. And then you can maybe get a rod to finish. You just need lifesteal, she lifesteal built in. So yeah, you could build like that, and that's pretty strong. In fact, just with these 3 items alone, your attack speed should hit. Yeah, look at that. Look at that attack speed. Remember, she scales off attack speed. And then you're basically going to be hitting for 2 damage because of your double pen, and then more pen, and then your rod as well, which increases your AA damage with its hidden passive of 25% boosted damage on AAs, as well as 25% of your total power. So yeah, that's a really good build for Freya. Soul is a bit of a kind of either or. She likes a little bit of attack, but I barely play her, but a little bit of attack does go a long way on her. But you can build a full burst, a little bit of cooling goes a long way. She doesn't really need poly anymore. You get it purely for tower push. Hill can build a little bit tanky as well, as can Chang'e. I see her as a warrior mage, so you'd build her similar to, yeah, no, not even diamond yet. How disgraceful. You can build her similar to Hi-rez and Jonqui. She should be diamond, but all the games in PTS didn't count. And Hill again could build like that. So can Aphrodite, I guess, because they're healers. Naturally, they can build them a bit tankier. I think that's it. Bar Al Quong. I've been playing recently. I actually tried the tanky build again recently, and it worked so well. It was actually my last game of qualifier for Conquest Ranked. For those who were interested, I lost 5 of them. I decided to do something stupid and solo queue 3 or 4 games. I think it was 3 games. It was not my smartest decision. I lost every single one. don't solo queue rank, man. I think I would. You think I would know that? I don't. I lost. Doesn't matter how good you play. Doesn't matter how good your KD is. Doesn't matter how good you babysit. One simply cannot carry 4. It can't be done. But then, you know, I started queuing with people, but only as a duo queue, and I lost those 2 games as well. And then I queued as a trio, and then won every single one, because 3 can carry 2. Like, 2 carrying 3 is difficult, but not impossible, because I done it last season. But 3 carrying 2 is doable. Yes, 2 people get wins they don't deserve, but welcome to ranked. So yeah, I played them recently, and the build still worked really, really well. Right, so the build worked really, really well. For the record, that Neath was absolute garbage. It only done well because no one was tanky for her. I mean, look at the mana build. Bulwark, Genji's guard, and a discard. That's 3 magical defense items, and like 1 tiny bit of fizz. Tiny bit of fizz with no health. Then you look at Geb, Bulwark, discard, Genji's guard. Like, ain't nothing for her. So she's just basically done 2 damage. That's basically what happened, right? But you can see the build. It's my classic kind of tank build. I ended on an Obsidian Shard for the tower push, because I didn't trust the Neath. But yeah, the idea was pretty much the same as it's always been. Defense, defense, Telekines, defense, and then I ended on Obsidian. In this game, right, with this build, I took on a Vimana and a Humbats 2v1 and killed the Vimana, got out more health, re-engaged on the Humbats who had to run away. Yeah, with this build. Look at his build. Look at all that Magic D and the kin size and the Vitalis. Made him a bitch. He couldn't touch me, you know? It's the power this build offers, right? I ended up getting Obsidian purely because this was just dumb. It was too much. When I was fighting him, man, this is taking a while to kill him, more than it usually does. So I opted to go into it. But yeah, so the defense build still works. So you can see I've not exactly had not a lot of bad games, but not a lot of games. What was this? 12-6-10, 13-3-6. These are quite old. 6-6-6. Good number that. 9-0-6. That was actually support. 9-0-6, and the ranked game. So yeah, the god builder for him, I would do one of 2 ways. You know the burst route, right? And it does work. I'm not going to deny that it works. But every time I try it, I get nearly as much kills as I normally would. Actually less, which is weird. But I die more. So I'm like, what's the point in this? Because I can't dive. I like to dive. When I see a kill, I'll go deep for it. And with the correct build, I know I can get away with it. With this build, it's like, yeah, I'm probably going to get the kill, but will I get out? Maybe, maybe not. So the burst build is pretty much exactly what you see here. All these aims. The idea being that it's 3 proc Soul Reaver and Poly. So you just build lots of power to boost your Poly shot. And fair enough, the base damage on his 3 is not high and it scales piss poor. But Poly scales strong. So Poly scales at 75%, right? His 3 scales at 40%, so it's garbage. But hit with the Poly shot makes it swing, and then the Soul Reaver makes it swing. Seeing a squishy, the Poly shot and the Soul Reaver with full damage will probably hit for about 60 or so % of their health, maybe 65%, which means that if he just goes 3-2, like launches the 2, that can usually put him in fin range for his ult, and he can easily get the kill and get out. The downside is if he doesn't have Soul Reaver or he takes on someone with some defense, he doesn't have that instantaneous burst, and he might lose a trade because he's made of wet paper. So when you build him this way, you're basically building, well, no matter how you build him, he's just better Thanatos. That's just what he is. He's better Toast. He does what Toast does, but better. He's more mobile. He's harder to kill because he gets stealth as well. Because obviously that's his jump and it's his stealth, right? Or his teleport and his stealth. He can build in more variety of ways, and I think it works better. Full damage Toast is not good. Full defense Toast is okay. It's the best you can do. Full defense fucking Alcong's really good because of his hit chain, which Toast doesn't have. It's just superior Toast in every conceivable way. So yeah, that's the damage build. But the defense build can go numerous ways. I usually get cooldown boosts, as you saw. I like to get cooldown so I get my ults off more often. I usually go into the breastplate to get more CDR again. It gives me 30%. And then I'll either go Urchin, Bulwark, or Telekines, depending how the game is going, but they're all good items. Urchin. Telekines as well, of course, is your kind of core item. because he's got a great hit chain, right? So it really helps him swing. And then you can either end on pen. I got Obsidian Shard for that game because of the raw amount of defense he had, and I was mainly just AAing, so I just got Obsidian. But Spear does work really well because it's easy to proc with your 2, your 3 procs in hand, ability effects like Spear, I believe, so that would work as well. So you can get either or. Even Obsidian Shard, and even Void Stone would work reasonably well depending on the matchup. But if you're going a more tanky build, it's probably best just to end on this. It depends on the enemy team comp, of course. If they're really, really, you know, squishy, you probably don't need it. You can probably just get another defense item or a cooldown item, like this. Would be pretty good as well. So yeah, it would look something like that on end, which is pretty decent. And then if they're tanky, you grab this. If they're not, you grab this. There's also capture CDR, which is nice. And your defense are pretty good. Imagine they're going to get another 30 boost. So yeah, again, the reason I build them defensive, you set in, it's 1.5.51, right? But the speed is 1.5.5.5. Okay, so you combine it with Telekinds, and you're getting the guaranteed damage every single swing, right? You're getting the extra proc of 35 really, really fast. It's kind of like lesser kin size, but with more attack speed, making it kind of stronger, and it's much cheaper. So it makes it kind of strong. Again, both are very viable. I think we're going to see more of the burst variants. But personally speaking, it's never done me well. It's always done me horrible, and I personally can't recommend it. It just doesn't work for me. I can't dive. I like to dive. I like to be a frontline. I like to be the niche. I like to be the one that makes the play and goes in deep for the play. And with the burst, you can't really do that. You've always got to be just kind of skirting on the outsides, waiting for a moment to just pick off someone and then run away. Or if your team's winning, you can re-engage. I don't like that, but it does work. There's no denying it. These 3, I may as well show you. These 3 does. This hits their basic attack and will activate aim effects, right? So even though it scales poorly, 40%, Poly doesn't, as we explained. Soul Reaver doesn't care. So that's what makes it viable. That's what makes it strong. So yeah, there you go. The more you know. And I think that's just covered every type of build. Zhonghui, Hi-rez, Chang'e, they're warrior mages. You can build them tanky. Healers like a bit of tank, so Aphrodite Hell would work well. Burst mages like Scylla with respectable cooldowns, don't need the Chronos Pen, they build full burst. Gods like Nox with longer CDRs do need the Chronos Pendant, so you get Chronos Pendant. Freya likes attack speed. Chronos, fuck, I suppose I should cover Chronos for calling quiz. So Chronos, he's got low base, pretty good scaling though. Hits twice, so 80% is pretty decent again, but again really low base, but it's a stun, which is nice. And he's got the big power up. So how would I build him? Well, Chronos really needs health. There's no way to get around that. He needs health. So if you want to get the Doom Orbs up, fair enough. Then you're kind of forced into boots. Then you kind of need to get Warlocks, because he dies all the time trying to ult. We've all seen this happen. If you don't have the health, you just die. You try to ult at 25%, but 25% of fuck all, still fuck all. So you need Warlock, so you've got a little bit of health pool, so when you do ult at 25% or less or whatever, you've actually got a chance to survive the wind up time. So you kind of forced into it. Then he needs Obsidian. I think he needs Obsidian because it boosts his already disgusting tower push even higher, which I really like. Then you would get Roded Tahuti, boost his big A damage. And then I would probably... See, he doesn't really need Fog Your Spirit either, but it is such a strong item, it's hard to not want it. But that's definitely a core. And then all these items that I recommended are actually pretty good. Poly's pretty good. Attack speed's fine on him, honestly, because again, your 2 is really strong. Hitting more often with your 2 up is really strong. I can't deny that. I've just never liked these items on him, but they're both good on him. They're both good on him if you get both. I think you don't want Telekinds on him as much because his hit chain's not good, but his attack speed's good. So if you get one, get both. Poly's fine on him if you wind up for the Poly shot. I don't think it's necessary, but it's strong and it's good, and it helps his already beast tower push. You can get Toth to be even more powerful when you use your 2 to swing even harder, or you can get the Fog Your Spear. But yeah, something like that would do you really well. So that's just now covered every mage. Boom. I don't think there's really anything else to it. Some gods like Gem of Iso, I suppose, Apash and Poseidon like Gem of Iso. Gubis likes Lifesteal. That's it. That's us. Boom, we're done. I think I covered everything. So guys, hope you enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. And as always, see you all next time.